Now, from the standpoint of your other question, you know, in regard to how and when can we get rid of these masks and everything, my comment earlier was just this, you know, there'll be a point in time, and Kenny, it may be at 64.3% or 70%, but I do not want to be misunderstood and say, we've got to get to 70 or I'm not ever going to release us to be able to not wear a mask. We will continue all the way through this thing to listen to all the medical experts, and they'll guide us, not me, they'll guide me as to what is absolutely reasonable and what we should be doing. Now, one thing I really do take issue with is just this. If we have a total eligible population in West Virginia of 1.47 total people that can today take a vaccine. Now, if we could just, for the most part, if we could just do one thing, if we could just round that to 1.50 million people in West Virginia, that's 1,500,000 total people in West Virginia, and it's 1.47. In fact, I'll just go with the 1.47 just for a second, okay? Kenny, at 1.47 total eligible people in the state of West Virginia, if you're right, and 40% of them don't want to take will not take the shot to be vaccinated, I think that number is 588,000 people. I think that number is 588,000 people are refusing to take the vaccine. Kenny, that can't be right. There's no way it can be right. Because if that's right, I mean, to be perfectly honest, we're putting vaccines in somebody's arm every day. You know, but if that number's right, we're at the end of the rainbow. We couldn't be possibly putting in arms 92%, 93% of the vaccines that are coming in the state. There's no way. So that number can't be right. The people that are refusing to take this vaccine at a level of 40%, I don't think that number can be right. But Dr. Marsh, add to this, please, because I love the questions. I think the questions are just great. We all want rid of these masks. We're going to have to follow the guidance of the people that are really the super smart medical people. But Dr. Marsh, take over. The only thing I would take issue with, and I want to vet it. I really want to vet it, but I don't think the 40% denial is the right number.
Well, thank you, Kenny, and thank you, Governor. You know, just briefly, the governor has expressed, I think, the exact right issues. You know, we've talked about this pandemic the whole time as one that is a rare event. And, you know, we've put together our task force through the governor's vision and direction to be able to adapt quickly to what we find. And as we look at where the goalposts stand related to wearing of masks and vaccinations and variant viruses, all I would say, Kenny, is we want to try to give all West Virginians a more concrete set of expectations about when we can remove the mask. And obviously we will make our recommendations, the governor will make the decisions. But at the same time, I think it's really important for us to reinforce the truth, which is this is an event that continues to unfold. And we are not, you know, suggesting to the governor that we need to follow these types of public health guidances about masks and physical distancing and all that, because we want to be punitive or we want to take any personal right away from anybody. We want to protect people. The governor asked us to come up with strategies to help him save lives in West Virginia, protect our people, keep people out of the hospitals, keep people from getting chronic illness where it's affecting them from their whole life by protecting them. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. So we could say certainly when, X amount of the population gets vaccinated, that's when we can take off the mask. But if things have really changed dramatically, we may well have to adapt our strategies again to protect our citizens, to save our citizens' lives. And as we've gone into this, we've done a really, really great job as a team, as a state, but it's not over yet. And while we don't want to keep looking like we're moving any goalposts, the truth is that we are not dictating to the virus what happens in the future. The virus is dictating it to us. And in order for us to save the most lives, protect the most people, that's the frame that we will continue to follow and recommend to the governor our best recommendations based on our own observations, CDC, what's going on around the country, what's going on around the world. But this is a very complex issue, and we're on crisis management day 400 and something. So it's amazingly unprecedented.
Back to me, Jordan. Everyone knows I'm a math guy, and I got to ask a question to the general, just one second. But general, how many first round shots are we putting in the arms of West Virginians on a weekly basis now?
Governor, we've dropped down below last week close to 2,000 with the central supply. I don't have those numbers for what we get in the federal pharmacy programs, but we do now have, of the eligible population, based on the total aggregated number, 748,634 people have received a dose.
Okay, give me that number one more time, and I just want to take a second and do 748,000.
748,634 West Virginians have received at least one dose based on all of our aggregated numbers with CDC.
Okay, if let's just go back and walk through this, and General, you stay with me, and Kenny, you stay with me, and anybody that's out there, let's just think just 1 second about this. If we start out with a number of 1,470,000 people in West Virginia that are eligible to take a shot. Now that does not include our children under the age of 16. But if 1,470,000 are eligible to take the shot, okay. Now, if we take from that and we say that 748,634, or let's just use 748,000. 748,000 have received the first round shot. Forget those that are getting the second shot for right now. Now, that's going to leave a balance of, let me just do this real quick. That's going to leave a balance, the way I see this, of 622,000 folks, or is it 722? 722,000 folks in West Virginia that are eligible right now to take the first round shot. And Kenny, if your number's right, that's 588,000 people that are saying we're not going to take the shot no matter what. So if you'll subtract 588,000 from 722, I think you're going to come to a number like 134,000. But really and truly, General, if you're getting in arms of, and that's why I ask, I don't know what that number is every week, but I would surely think that you're getting in, how many total doses are you getting in every week? About 70,000, is that correct?
So, Governor, right now, because of the slow in people taking the vaccine, we have 120,000 doses that we'll have available just this week. So we could hit that one number that you've got almost in 1 week if people would take the vaccine.
Well, that's not really where I'm going. Where I'm really going is to this spot, is if you're getting first round doses in people's arms of that 120,000, if you only put, 25,000 in arms for the first shot, and the second shot is you're putting in, 35,000 or 45,000, and you get out 70,000. You're reporting a number here of 87.2 total administration rate of the first and the second round doses. But what I'm trying to get to is, if all you got left is 134,000 are going to take the shot, we're either going to get there in the next 2 or 3 weeks and then say, well, there's no point in really thinking about it if this number of 40% is right, but I hope and pray that it's not right. And I guess we'll continue to watch it. But the bottom line to the whole thing is, from a mass standpoint, if we've got 588,000 people that are denying this vaccine no matter what, you're at the end of the rainbow as far as people willing to take the vaccine that are going to come, unless we can change their minds. And that's what we need to really continue to try to work on, because we've got at least a population out there that needs our help to try to get them information to where they can feel comfortable enough to take the vaccine.